My name is Greg Hauck. I teach digital learning, which is a computer class. And it's really interesting and fun to reflect back on my time with the department, because when I first started teaching computers, I had nothing but paper pencil resources in the classroom. So it's fun to see the progression of where we've come as a department. And going from paper pencil to a very basic computer system, which didn't have a whole lot on it, but we had to make it work, and we had to teach a program and try to help people become successful when they went home. But it's exciting to share that now we're on par with what most community colleges teach.
I think students should consider taking digital learning because of the world in which we live. I think that things in the community have moved in a much more digital direction, and historically we haven't prepared students very well for that. But as we're moving forward with our vocational trades and training and our post-secondary training, digital learning is working to prepare our students much more effectively for rejoining the community.
It's really important in our world today that folks are able to use technology, whether it's laptops, whether it's doing searches, whether it's just understanding what options they have out there. Previously, we used a curriculum, it was called Microsoft Digital Literacy. It was a good standalone curriculum, but it really wasn't meeting our purposes. So we've been over the last several years doing a lot of research. One of the research folks that we have are our digital literacy instructors. And those folks are the ones that are kind of have their finger on the pulse of what's happening in the industry. And we really did a cool thing with them is putting together a work group and having them establish this technology and make it into something that fits best for the department.
Digital learning taught me how to use a computer for the first time.
Digital learning taught me how to budget and manage my personal finances.
Digital learning equipped me with the essential skills for critical thinking and problem solving.
The Michigan Department of Corrections has set a new standard for how we teach technology in a prison classroom. Digital learning is not just a computer class. It's a comprehensive course that teaches personal finance, soft skills, and reentry skills, each that are critical in today's workforce. We teach digital learning through Google Classroom, the Paradigm Learning Management System, and students are assessed with the National TOSA certification exam. I really like this test because it's not like your typical pass-fail exam. Students are assessed on a scale from 0 to 1,000 and placed in one of 5 categories: from beginner, basic, productive, advanced, and expert. So with digital learning, it doesn't matter where you're at in your journey with learning computers. If you're a beginner or an expert, this class has something for you.
This has been of inestimable value in that effort. Just the fact that I had no idea of the difference between Twitter. I can tell if you were to say, Sullivan, if you show me the difference between Twitter and Facebook, you can leave now. I'd still be here. But because of this course, I've become more familiar not only with the icons, but with the security measures, the dangers, how to take preventative measures, and having personal information stolen, how to safeguard not just yourself but others. It's just, as I said, very enlightening, a very enlightening course. I have nothing but praise for this course.
Here, utilizing a resume through digital learning, I was able to learn how to go and find professional jobs and utilize that to be able to put that on my resume that actually allow me to have a leg up when I talk to some of the employers. Being able to connect and deal with like making a resume and a cover letter and things that you would never, when I first came to prison, I would have never known I would have been able to learn these types of skills. I'm actually being prepared now, so when I get out of prison, I'm able to compete in the workforce and get a good job and be able to supply for myself.
So you've heard that knowledge is power, right? And with this class, that rings true, especially being a college student. it was actually able to help me prepare myself, not just for classes, but also knowing that I'm getting ready to go home in 5 years, that computer knowledge, the digital world that we have right now is exploding. And just having that class, understanding the concepts, understanding some of the applications, the hardware, the software, really gave me a foundation. Not that just carried me through college, but actually prepared me for when I go home and getting a job, so I'll be able to hit the ground running.
It's going to be fun. It's going to be a lot to learn.
I can't wait.
One more question, then we're going to get started with the course content. Sage.
So I'm grateful that we've been given this opportunity, because so much of this is stuff that's new to all of us. And I know with the applications, when he said about hands-on, for me to be able to get the opportunity to engage with all of the applications and to do it hands-on, it's going to help me. I know it's going to help when I go home, but as well as for our studies with Calvin and the things that we do. So PowerPoint and Excel, and these are all things that we're going to be able to use. So I'm looking forward to that, to being able to engage in the hands-on part, because I need to do it that way to get it to resonate.
Very cool. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you.
So let's go ahead and get started in the course content.
So one thing that I think the digital learning course does really well is it provides you a greater vision, especially if you're somebody that has vocational training in mind. You know, in here it can be really easy to get lost in this environment, right? When you're in prison, it's difficult to see past the fences, see past the walls sometimes. But the digital learning course, they exposed me to YouTube videos for the first time. And that was an amazing resource, because a lot of times when you're in the trades and you're learning the skills, all you see around you is a bunch of other prisoners learning skills. You don't see the end all. You don't see how they can be applied. You don't see how useful they can be. So seeing the YouTube videos, being able to watch those at your leisure, it gives you an idea of what your future is going to look like if you choose to apply these skills, right? Better prepares you for the work environment overall. And there's an enormous amount of value in that, because sometimes the questions that you ask yourself, like, man, what's the point of all this? Why am I even doing this? Why am I even, trying to learn these skills? By seeing the big picture, it can help to keep your motivation going in the right direction.
I think the visual aids in his classroom, like the YouTube videos, has been a great tool to help us digest the material a lot better. I think they give us real life examples and applications that we can use outside of the classroom once it's complete. So it's definitely been a great confidence builder and a learning experience.
Well, I found that learning in prison is more than the actual what we are being taught. It's the environment plays a big part, and Mr. Hauck provides a peaceful learning environment that's conducive to getting education. Everybody is respectful to one another, and overall he just promotes a great environment that is kind of countercultural to the outside of what's going on sometimes in prison. So it feels good to have a space that feels, safe to learn in.
Every chapter has a guided practice tutorial, so once you get done with the reading and the videos, you're going to click on this section of the screen. I'll just scroll up just so you are aware of, kind of like with computer concepts, you've got the sections, you've got the quiz. Now there's more of a practice component to the course. So the guided practice tutorials will open up Microsoft Office, and it's going to give you a task to perform, but it's going to walk you through step by step how to perform that task. So, for example, in Outlook, it's going to say you need to type up this email and send this email to this person, and they're going to give you all that contact information.
Digital learning is amazing. The first aspect of it is computer concepts. And computer concepts teaches you the basics. It starts off with teaching you how to use the internet, what is computer hardware, application software. Also, it teaches you about the operating system and utility programs. And most importantly, it teaches you how to use social media and the proper etiquette for it. And then for me, I really like the whole thing with the privacy and the security, because it helps you because I didn't realize how important, like that is, because I was always out on like coffee shops on the free Wi-Fi, and it's like just getting stuff all the time. I was like, man, I didn't know that I was just putting myself out there like that. So all those things you get taught in computer concepts, and it really it just starts off that way, and it's really good. I was just looking at some of the Windows concepts for the Chapter 11, using Windows 11 and managing files. It's just so important for me because it's like understanding some of these things. Like digital literacy for me is like you start getting the hang of stuff like that. You're like, oh, you can see how it's better equips you to be a better member of the digital community, which parallels with being a better member of the community in general.
So the second half is the computer applications, and what that does is it teaches you how to run Windows 11, how to operate it, and then from there you learn how to use a web browser, and from there you learn about Microsoft Office, which consists of 6 different applications. You got PowerPoint, Access, Outlook, OneNote, Word, and Excel. And so you go through each one and you're given exercises hands-on through the Paradigm software. So you're running these programs actually while you're learning how to use them. So it's comprehensive in that it gives you tasks to accomplish. And then from there you have like flashcards and other things that are supplemental within the curriculum to help you prepare for the TOSA exam. And everything that I've learned was basically in a way to get you ready for TOSA. Any question that TOSA asked, we actually went through it, whether it was watching a video or reading about it or doing an exercise. We're learning how to do all these different things. And so TOSA basically was just reiterating everything that we went through, so that it was good. And we also had 2 practice exams for TOSA. So I was completely ready for it when it came down to taking the actual exam. But I was blown away because I didn't realize I'd get expert. I was like, I didn't know I had that in me. I'm just going through the curriculum, plugging along. And so I was amazed that I actually was that good at it. So, and you want me to, I'm really proud of this, and I'm really proud of it. I got, expert right there, and it's amazing. Like, digital learning has showed me that that I'm capable of achieving really great things, things that I had no idea I'd be able to. So I'm super proud of it.
The technological side of it, even though the applications were really good, but learning about the concepts was huge. There's a lot of things that have changed over the past decade. And then I just, I could see the more that I started to learn about it, I was like, wow, this is just, it's fascinating, it's amazing, and watching some of the YouTube videos and being like, man, this is what's available out there now. I mean, it just really inspired me to want to learn more, and then the more that I started to learn about the new applications and concepts, then I became a little bit more optimistic about my future, and some of the possibilities that are going to happen, here in the MDOC.
And that's using a Chromebook in the classroom. We've got wireless internet, and we have so many resources today that we didn't have prior to this. So it's interesting, when I first started working here, they told me we'd never have a computer in the classroom and we'd never have the internet in the classroom. And now we have all of those things. So I'm just so proud and excited to share that here we are in this prison teaching offenders, but we've got very similar resources to what they have at a community college, and that's outstanding. It's truly amazing.